The season comes down to this here. The final game for the MAC women's basketball tournament is here in Cleveland, Ohio at Rocket Arena. It's the number 1 seed Ball State Cardinals taking on the number 2 seed Toledo Rockets for a chance at the crown of the MAC championship and a bid into the NCAA tournament. Good morning, everybody, and welcome inside the broadcast. I'm Luke Kleinmar alongside Caden Knapp. As always, as we've been all season long, Caden. Well, it's been all chalk so far in this tournament. Ball State, the number 1 seed, Toledo, number 2. And I think we got a really exciting matchup here on our hands.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting matchup as well. This is just the 16th time in MAC tournament history for women's basketball that the 1 seed has matched up against the 2 seed in the title game, with the top seed winning 14 out of those 16 times. And you look at the Ball State Cardinals, they're trying to do something they have not done in 5,844 days, and that is advance to the NCAA tournament. Toledo just did it 735 days ago. Interesting note, both of them beat Bowling Green in their title games.
They did indeed, and this is a Ball State team that was 24-7 in the regular season. They were 13-12 at home, 10-3 away, 1-2 in neutral sites. But this is a Ball State team, Caden, that has been dominant all season long from start to finish. You look at some of the teams they beat to get to this point. They're coming off that semifinal win yesterday against Kent State, and Kent State was the MAC tournament champions last year, so they take out the defending champs and take out the team that eliminated them last year, so they got a little bit of revenge last time out. And I think it's safe to say that they have to be the favorites coming to this one.
Oh, 100%. Henry and myself were talking about it last game. Ball State made Kent State look like they were a bottom feeder in the MAC.
Yeah.
That is how good that the Cardinals played. They were very pumped up. They were in rhythm, and you saw after they won that they were cheering with the fans and just very, very excited to advance to this stage.
Indeed, as well. And you look at the other side, Toledo Rockets, they're a team under first-year head coach, Bogus, and I think a lot of people didn't really know what they're going to get this season when Trisha Culp left the Rockets, but she comes in, and they really haven't skipped a beat. They finished the regular season 22-7 overall, got the 2nd seed in the MAC tournament, had a big one against Central Michigan, and then it was a big defensive battle yesterday against Buffalo, but they did take down the Bulls, a team that a lot of people were really high on, a team that made the MAC championship last year. But I think this is a Rockets team that, while they might not be the favorites this game, they do have a lot of experience and a lot of confidence coming to this one.
Yeah, first-year head coach Denny Bogus has really impressed me, at least these last 2 games, because Toledo did not start off the first half against Central Michigan or the first half against Buffalo well. But the adjustments that they made at halftime were just so important, and they did such a good job at it to come out into the second half and do a great job to take over the game and advance to this stage.
Indeed, as well. And we do have starting lamps coming up momentarily, but you look at this Ball State team. Ball State, there really isn't a weak point when you look at it for Ball State. They're averaging 72.8 points per game and three-point range. They're shooting 30% from beyond the arc as well. Rebounding as well, they have a plus 3.8 margin, 37.8 rebounds per game, only giving up 34 to be exact. But a big thing too, Kane, that stood out to me a lot with this Ball State team is how well they share the ball. You look at the assists per game, 16.4 per game.
Yes, and that is because of Allie Becky. She has the pass-first mentality, of course, the MAC Player of the Year. She's just had a fantastic career. And another thing with this Ball State team is they're just so tight-knit, and they have played with each other for so long, so passing and sharing the basketball just comes so natural to them.
Indeed, as well. And you look at the Rockets, I think a big players you got to look out to her. You have Nan Garcia, who was the 6th man of the year in the MAC. She got reinserted into the starting 5 yesterday against Buffalo, along with Sammy McConowitz. Both of them each had a double-double yesterday.
Yeah, they both put on really good games, and really both of them have had great tournaments so far, and that's not a surprise. Both of them are in their 5th year at the collegiate level, so they have a lot of experience.
So you look at a couple of the matchups here on display. You have Allie Becky, as you mentioned, the MAC Player of the Year, and I think well-deserved as well. On the other side, you have Sammy McConowitz for the Rockets, and there's probably be an unchanged starting 5 coming to this one, but we'll see what happens as well. I think mostly, too, in these MAC tournament games, in these championship games, a lot of it comes down to nerves, but a lot of it, too, is putting together a perfect game. But also, more specifically, a lot comes down to the turnover battle.
Yeah, it 100% is going to come down to not only just the turnover battle, but if you could take advantage of that. And I think that kind of leads me into my 3 keys of the game. And I would say that if you're Toledo, you need to keep this game close. Ball State is going to want to get off to a very fast start. In 28 of 33 games this season, Lucas, they have led at the intermission. Ball State has. And Toledo this season 20-0 when they lead with 5 minutes to go in at the fourth quarter. So if Toledo keeps it close, it's going to be a fun game, and they're going to have a chance to win. Also, I would say the defensive battle is something to watch. Again, Ball State, very good scoring offense, 73 points per game on 59.8 allowed. If Toledo is able to keep this lower scoring, again, that kind of plays into the favor of the Rockets. And then the third and final thing I'm going to say is take advantage of miscues, really on both sides. The first meeting between these two teams, Ball State won at home 77-63. They scored 19 points off the turnover to Toledo's 8. And then in the second game, the one that Toledo won, by the way, that was Ball State's first MAC loss of the season. Toledo won it 70-66. They had 19 points off the turnover to Ball State's 13 points off the turnover. That is going to be a statistical category to watch closely.
Indeed it is as well. That's a very important note to mention there, Caden. They split the series, as you mentioned. Ball State took the first one, 77-63, like you mentioned, and then had their first MAC loss in conference play. And I think a lot of people, including myself, thought Ball State was probably going to go undefeated in MAC play. I mean, it took forever for them to just pick up their first conference loss. I mean, they're a team that has just been so dominant in all areas of the court all season long. And it looks like they're trying to capture a MAC title they haven't captured in a long time.
Yeah, and really that loss to Toledo kind of set Ball State into a little bit of a downward spiral. They ended up losing 2 of their next 3 games, but they finished the season strong, at least the regular season, winning now 6 consecutive games.
Indeed, they have. So we're now starting to get the starting 5s for both teams, for the Rockets and Ball State. Let's start first for the number 1 seeded Ball State Cardinals.
It's going to be an unchanged starting 5 for Coach Sally. It's Allie Becky, Lachelle Austin, Marie Kiefer, Alex Richard, and then Madeline Bischoff. A lot of experience there.
A lot of experience, a lot of all-MAC honor winners, both first team and second team, along with head coach Brady Sally for the Ball State Cardinals as the Flames shoot out of the swords here at Rocket Arena. That was pretty cool.
Yes, it was. It's a fun environment. Really, fans from both sides traveling out to this one as the hype video plays on the Jumbotron. I think it's safe to say Jumbotron.
Yeah, Jumbotron. All right, starting 5 for Ball State is out. We just read through that. Let's get to the starting 5 for the Rockets.
Another unchanged starting 5 for Coach Bogus. It's Nan Garcia, Kendall Carruthers, Cadence Dykstra, Kira Goss, and then Sammy McConowitz. Very important starting 5. And, McConowitz has a lot of tournament experience.
She definitely does as well. And this is the Rockets team that had Jessica Cook in that 5 position for a majority of this season. And we mentioned Nan Garcia, the 6th man of the year. They got reinserted to the starting 5 last game against Buffalo. We mentioned she had a double-double, and it looks like she gets the starting nod once again here this morning. A player, too, as well with Garcia that averaging 8 points per game off the bench mostly. That was her first start of the season last game against Buffalo, so quite the change for Bogus so late into the season, but it paid off. If you remember that game, Caden, Tyler Kavalitz and I were on the call for that one. It was quite the barn burner in terms of scoring, very low scoring, both teams not really having the best shooting day. Toledo Rockets scored just 2 points in the second quarter yesterday against Buffalo Bulls, and they find themselves in the MAC championship here because of the adversity and the resilience they had in the second half and how well they play offensively to start up and make those shots. And they got into the championship game, but man, oh man, it's been a fun season, and I think it's fitting that we have the best 2 seeds in this championship game.
Yeah, it's going to be a really close game, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Very excited for it. And, really just going back to Toledo scoring just 2 points in the second quarter against Buffalo, I think that kind of speaks levels to really how good their defense is and the fact that they were still able to become victorious in that game and bounce the Bulls.
Indeed, as well. And reminder for people as well, this is our second to last game here in the MAC tournament. It's been a great ride all week long. This is our 13th game, I should say, out of 14. We'll have the men's MAC championship game later tonight at 7:30. It's Akron Zips taking on the Miami Redhawks. Redhawks looking to get their first MAC championship in quite some time, while the Zips are looking to repeat as back-to-back champions and get into March Madness.
Yeah, and two players that I think are going to be key. I'm going to start with the Rockets. Player to watch, there's obviously I think is going to be Sammy McConowitz. She's just this team's leader. If she's good, the team is doing good as well. You mentioned she had a double-double last time out. And then looking at Ball State, it's easy to look at the roster and say, oh, Allie Becky, that's going to be the player to watch. But I want to watch Madeline Bischoff. She's going to be very important. She's 40% from beyond the arc in this tournament. And if she starts feeling it from beyond the arc and continues that trend, and creates it or makes it so there's a track meet, then that's going to play in the favor of the Cardinals. So watch her.
4 out of the 5 starters for the Cardinals averaged double figures this season. Richard had 16.2 points per game, along with Madeline Bischoff, like you mentioned there, Kate, a very special player to watch. 10.2 points per game. Becky averaged just under 14 points per game, and Austin averaged 10 on the dot. So this, like we mentioned, is a well-run Ball State team, but also a Ball State team that can definitely score the basketball. And going to be a lot of things that are going to come down to the outcome of this game and who can hoist the crown of the MAC. But one thing's for sure is we have a lot of special players on the floor, a lot of all-MAC award winners like we mentioned. Head coach Brady Sally, the MAC coach of the year, deservedly so.
Yeah, and emotions are definitely going to be very high.
Indeed they will, for sure. The men's games last night as well, if you do remember that Akron-Toledo men's game last night was very fun. It was almost filled, completely full capacity, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of emotions there. 190 points total in that game. We are in an NBA arena, so it's an NBA arena score.
There you go.
So the Ball State Cardinals, number 1 seed, in their white with red strip. The Rockets in their gold with the navy blue. We are underway here. Tip-off won by Kiefer and Ball State. So the Cardinals will start with this one. Kiefer, top of the key, works it to Austin. Austin guarded by Goss. Becky here, left wing. Inside here, pull-up shot there from Richard is up and no good. Rebounded Toledo.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a longer shot. Good defense by Garcia, shadowing her.
Here's Carruthers, feed to Garcia, guarded by Richard. Goss. Here's McConowitz, left wing. Moving inside, now gets it out to Goss. Toledo took the shot clock very down a lot yesterday. The shot clock's already down to 5. Garcia, top of the key. Guarded by Richard. Garcia steps back, thinking about a 3, and that puts up a high contested shot. That one off the mark. And they're going to say shot clock violation before Garcia even got the shot off.
Yeah, it didn't even touch the rim. And something to note about Ball State is when the shot clock is running down on the other team, they're very, very good at staying composed and not bailing out their opponent.
So still 0-0 here early, about 55 seconds in this one, 9 minutes and change left in the first quarter. Here's Becky. Richard, working on McComas, kicks it outside. Richard again, top of the key. Here's Austin, left wing, working on Goss. Out to Bischoff. Bischoff to Becky. Shot clock down to 6. Becky trying to find Bischoff. It's tipped away and into the hands of Garcia, so another turnover here for the Rockets. Dykstra. Outside here, 3-ball on the way for Carruthers, and that gets us going here in the MAC championship. Carruthers, a big 3-0 Toledo.
There's the points off the turnover that we were talking about. McConowitz created it, and she made a fantastic pass to the Dykstra, who picked up the assist.
Here's Becky put on a spin move, and Dykstra hits the floor. What a move from Allie Becky as she gets the Cardinals' first points in this one, 3-2 Toledo.
My goodness.
What a move from Allie Becky. Already a highlight reel here, just a couple minutes in this one. Goss to McConowitz, working on Becky. That's the matchup you want to watch, and McConowitz wins that one. Off glass it in, and Becky's a little slow getting back to her feet.
Oh, boy.
So now 5-2 Toledo, and Becky hunched over below the basket. This could be a disaster waiting to happen if your Cardinals. Seems to be okay. Don't quite know what happened. Maybe she landed a little weird on one of her feet. But play will resume. Becky will take this up the floor for the Cardinals. They're going from right to left on your radio dial. Toledo going from left to right. Becky working on Dykstra in the corner. Bischoff feeds it inside there for Kiefer. A lot of contact with Garcia. McConowitz underneath the basket. Ball will go out of play.
How about this Toledo defense, Lucas? They've looked great through the first few possessions.
Well, they were great yesterday against Buffalo, that's for sure, held the Bulls, the number one scoring team in the MAC, to just 49 points. Here's Kiefer. Nice move to get around McConowitz, and Kiefer lays that up and in with the left. 5-4 Toledo, 7:35 left to play in the first.
She used every part of her 6'2 frame to score there.
Both these teams have a lot of height as well. Here's Dykstra moving inside with Becky. Dykstra trying to feed that one to Goss, but before she could do so, she traveled.
Yeah, she was trying to create space for herself, had no room whatsoever, and ended up moving that plant foot.
Here's Becky, left wing. Bischoff, and looking to get that one to Kiefer, but they'll get a rocket here for the foul. It'll be McConowitz. That'll be her first personal foul. So still 5-4 Toledo with 7:11 left to play. Destiny Robinson will check in for the Rockets and for Dykstra. Becky inbounds there. Richard pulls up and got it to go. Ball State retakes the lead, 6-5. Nice feed to get Richard's first points in this one.
Yeah, and those inbound plays are just so important for Ball State. They know how to create space for themselves and get off good shots.
There's Robinson, feeds it in to Garcia, looking to get that one back to Robinson, and made a way to the rim, but it was last off of Austin for Ball State. Toledo will remain with possession.
Yeah, that was kind of a wrong place, wrong time for Austin as it bounced off her shoulder.
Robinson, Garcia. There's Goss. Garcia. Working on there, Richard Garcia. Good defensive play for the Cardinals. Becky trying to outlet pass. It's knocked away from the Rockets, and Toledo gets it right back. Carruthers moves inside there, looking for McConowitz driving baseline. Can't do so, and now McConowitz will pick up the foul. Crazy sequence there.
Yeah, that was a very crazy sequence, as that's McConowitz's second foul. I mean, but I was going to say, talk about getting back on defense and creating the takeaway for Toledo.
I don't even think, I believe that was McConowitz who might have hit that one off, or excuse me, it was actually Goss who worked the steal there. I don't think she turned around to try to swipe that ball away. Uncharacteristic giveaway from the Cardinals and Becky, but they come away unscathed and come back the other way. Becky goes left wing, guarded by Robinson. Here's Kiefer. Austin feeds inside of Richard, and a mid-range jumper there over the newly checked-in Jessica Cook is up and good. 8-5, Ball State.
Yeah, and now Toledo has gone scoreless through the last 2 minutes of gameplay.
Here's Cook moving inside, top of the key. Guarded off by Richard, but she gives her some space. Now Goss there would take a deep two. That one no good, and rebounded held in there by Kiefer.
Yeah, Goss wasn't really set with that shot. She was still shuffling her feet when she launched it up.
Kiefer moves inside, and another mid-range shot there from the Cardinals, and that one is way over. I believe that was Richard on that one for Ball State. Long outlet pass for Cook underneath the basket, outside right corner. Nice pump fake there from Goss. That one three ball, no good, and rebounded again from Kiefer.
Good look, just couldn't convert, and it's not too often you see Becky get faked out like that.
No, you don't, indeed. So we have 8-5 Ball State here with 5:15 left to play here in the first quarter. A 3-point lead for the Cardinals. Becky trying to feed that one. It's knocked off of Robinson. So another turnover by Becky. Here comes Goss on the other way. Becky there trying to steal the ball away. It was last touch off of Becky. It'll go out for Toledo ball.
Yeah, at least through the first 5 or so minutes, the officials have kind of been letting them play.
They have indeed, and how about Becky? Uncharacteristic there. 3 turnovers early in this one.
Yeah. I mean, this is the biggest game of her career as it stands right now in her senior year. I mean, she's never played in a MAC championship game.
She is not, which is kind of crazy with her resume, as she'll check out here and get a breather for Elise Stuck, who come in. Johnson came in as well for Ball State. Richard came out. Goss and Cook came out for Toledo. Fed Robinson and Hannah Novorosky came in for Toledo. Fed Robinson feeds it to Novorosky. The two newly checked in Rockets trying to combine. That one bounces A couple of bounces around the rim and falls out. It'll be last off of Novoroski, and Ball State will take over.
And those are the shots you got to hit if you want to beat the #1 team in the conference.
So that will do it here. First immediate timeout. 4:55 to play in the first quarter. Ball State up by 3, 8-5. You're listening to the 2025 MAC Championship game here on Falcon Radio.
Green, green, green. It's your home, it's your dream. Radon testing, keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Testing for radon is easy. Just call 866-730-GREEN.
Make it green, green, green.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
I can't believe he found them.
He seems sorry.
We very clearly told him not to look up there.
I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do it.
Right? What did he balance on that big chair?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll just know what his gifts are this year.
I really thought we had hidden them well.
If they can find their presents, they can find a gun.
911, what is your emergency?
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, we reached our first media timeout in the first quarter. Ball State up by 3, 8-5 is your score. The #1 seeded Cardinals over the #2 seed Toledo Rockets. Lucas Kleinmar alongside Caden Knapp with you here. Been a pretty good start to this one. I think pretty even, which is to be expected.
Yeah, it really has, and this media timeout could not have come at a better time for the Rockets, who have not scored in 3 minutes and 10 seconds, but it's their defense that's been keeping them in this.
Yeah, and I think the defense is what gave them that win over Buffalo yesterday, their low-scoring game, as we mentioned. Toledo only 2 points scored offensively in that second quarter yesterday, but they still managed to get here to the big game. So back underway here in the first quarter. Now a long 3 ball on the way there from Kiefer is no good. So 3-point miss there for Ball State.
Yeah, and Kiefer, not a player that usually takes that 3 ball.
McConowitz, here's Novoroski inside towards the right elbow. Now kicks out to the left wing. McConowitz, that one's stolen away there from Kiefer. Kiefer along the left pass. And going the other way was Johnson, and Johnson has that knocked away from behind from McConowitz again.
Yeah, she came out of nowhere to steal that ball away.
McConowitz left wing looking for an option. Novoroski hands it back off McConowitz. Thought about a 3. Moving inside. Now kicks out to Robinson in the left corner. It's out to Carruthers, top of the key. Robinson. Novoroski now inside. They like her in that spot towards that right elbow side. Outside Fed Robinson. She'll try a 3 here. Deep Fed Robinson. And that one goes in and out and falls into the hands of Bischoff.
Yeah, you held your breath for that one for a second. Looked like it was going to go in.
Austin moves inside. Mid-range 2 there. In and out there from Kiefer. And Johnson there takes a tumble on the floor away from the play. But they're going to get an offensive foul on Ball State regardless. And it will be on Johnson, even though she's the one who hit the deck.
Yeah, it looked like, at least from here, that she was the one who initiated the contact and kind of bounced off the Rocket. Of course, MJ Johnson, the Texas A&M transfer, who Ball State beat earlier this season, by the way.
Ball State has a lot of impressive wins on their resume so far this season. Here's Robinson. Fed Robinson now drives to the rim there and puts it up and in with the left. It rattles and falls, and Toledo back within one. 8-7, 3:20 left to play here in the first.
Nice moves, driving in the outstretches of the paint.
Becky works her way to the right and to the left alley. Becky, long shot there with the left, high arcing, but got the fall. 10-7.
And then an errant inbound. That was not a good one by Garcia.
Becky there feeds it inside to Stuck underneath the basket. Stuck lays that one up and in, and how about that? 2 quick baskets there for Ball State. 12-7. The Cardinals up by 5.
Yeah, the Cardinals making the Rockets pay for that miscue.
Here's McConowitz for Toledo. Garcia now. Rockets on the attack once more, trying to get to double figures here. Fed Robinson to Destiny Robinson. Back top of the key, guarded by Stuck. Johnson moves inside, feeds it to Garcia. Garcia puts that one up, blocked from behind, into the hands of Becky. The Rockets come up empty once again.
Yeah, she had no room to pass or shoot with that one.
Becky left wing, then moves inside to the charity stripe. Bounce pass inside. Johnson now feeds it here to Kiefer. Kiefer shot rejected there and picked away from Toledo's McConowitz. McConowitz, 3 ball on the way here for Goss. And Kira Goss knocks it down. That's her second three-pointer. Excuse me, that'll be just her first now. 12-10. Ball State lead cut down by 2. And a feed down low to Kiefer to Johnson. That's going to be on offensive foul. Garcia there standing her ground.
Yeah, she made sure to plant herself and draw the contact from Johnson. But back to that 3, that was just a good transition bucket to give Toledo the look they wanted. Goss did not have a defender even near her. She was on her own island.
So maybe that 3 ball from Goss can start something for Toledo as Dykstra for the Rockets brings it up. Dykstra, Novoroski, outside to Goss. Goss kicks it outside, Fed Robinson. Fed Robinson feeds it back inside there, and that was actually Jessica Cook, rather, laying that one up and in. The rotation from Toledo's bigs today have been really hard for Cardinals to handle.
Yeah, it really has been.
Stuck there for the Ball State, going back their way. An off-balance shot, no good. Rebounded from Toledo. We are tied at 12 apiece here with 1:18 left to play here in the first quarter. Dykstra moving inside, a lot of contact. That shot doesn't go. But I believe they're going to get Dykstra here for an offensive foul.
Yeah, I think so too. And Lucas, there's been a lot of offensive fouls this tournament.
There has been a lot of offensive fouls this contest. That's Dykstra's first personal foul, the team's second. Johnson has 2 personal fouls for Ball State. And all of them have been offensive so far in this one. So Becky comes back here for Ball State. Becky bounce pass. Oh, what a find there. Looking to find Richard. Cut it in between 2 Rocket defenders, but it goes out of bounds. And I believe they're going to get Rockets here actually for a foul.
I think they poked it out of bounds. That's what the call was, because you usually don't see Ball State make a bad pass like that.
Well, but right on cue there, Becky inbounded that one to Stuck, and it goes out of play for Toledo ball. So another turnover for Ball State. Something that's been so uncharacteristic for them all season. That's their 6th turnover this game.
Yeah, I think announcers jinxed them there.
I think
well.
you did. I think you did.
They have not scored in 1:59 in large part due to the turnovers as of late. But yeah, 4 turnovers by Becky. It's just not something you ever see.
12-12 is your score. 1:03 left to play here in the first. Becky and Richard both have 4 for Ball State. McConowitz and Carruthers each have 3. Those are the leaders for each team in this one. Under a minute to play here. Here come the Carruthers for the Rockets. Carruthers moves inside. In the corner, Fed Robinson. Fed Robinson feeds it to Cook down low. Jessica Cook, double team underneath the basket. It doesn't matter. Cook puts it in. The Rockets take the lead, 14-12.
Yeah, the rotation has really got down for Coach Bogus.
Becky got away from her defender. Gets it out to the corner there for Austin. Austin tried to find that pass to Bischoff. It's rejected out of bounds. Ball State will remain with possession with 33.7 seconds left to play in the first.
Yeah, Ball State's bread and butter is working in the paint and hitting little mid-range floaters, and Toledo's bigs have just been flustering them and not allowing them to do that.
Here's Stuck, top of the key. Bischoff. And a mid-range jumper from Stuck in that one. Gets a little bit of an assist from the backboard and falls. Tied at 14 apiece. Shot clock is off. 20 seconds left and counting. Here come Toledo.
Yeah, and Stuck was given just enough space to put up the shot.
Dykstra to the right wing for a newly checked in Cole for Toledo. 5 seconds left on the clock. Need to get a shot up here. Carruthers, top of the key. Carruthers, couple of step overs, pump fix there, puts up a shot there, and that one hits nothing but air. Tried a little too much there, trying to fake out her defender. So it goes out of bounds, and we will end this first quarter tied at 14 apiece here in the 2025 MAC Championship game in Cleveland. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the second quarter coming up right here on Falcon Radio.
I'm BG News reporter Ava Thoman, and here's a look at this week's edition of the BG News. Honoring Women's History Month and celebrating all women who've made an impact. See who is being celebrated and how you can join in on the celebration. Since its 1965 opening, Stellar Field has not seen a big renovation. Read about the fundraising campaign and what renovations are being brought to the baseball diamond. A tree honoring a late professor will be planted on campus. Find out more about how some students raised all the funds in just 6 hours. And on March 12th, the Bowling Green Falcon Marching Band took flight to Ireland. Read about what they plan on doing for St. Patrick's Day. Check out these stories and more in this week's edition of the BG News, now available on newsstands around the BGSU campus and the Bowling Green community.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
This is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our two stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. Ziggy.
Back here, ready to start quarter number 2 in Cleveland. Here at Rocket Arena, we are tied at 14 apiece. Ball State and Toledo. Both teams looking to give the crown of the MAC Championship and get a spot in the NCAA tournament. Welcome back inside the broadcast. Lucas Clymer alongside K-Net with you. It's still the morning, so good morning to those who are now just joining us as well. What you make of those first 10 minutes?
Well, we knew defense would be paramount, and Toledo did a really good job at that, and that's why, despite the long scoring droughts that they put on during that quarter, they're still tied here. And I just think that the bigs for Toledo and that rotation that they have is just doing well for them. And on Ball State's side, Allie Becky just looks very flustered right now.
She does indeed. Look at her first quarter stats, 4 points and 4 turnovers. She does have 2 rebounds and three assists along with a steal as well, but those 4 turnovers, that's 4 of 6 turnovers for Ball State. Very uncharacteristic from her.
Yeah, 100%.
Indeed, and you look at some of the stats as well. I think a big surprising thing in that first quarter was Ball State just attempted 1 3-pointer, 0 for 1 there. They're 7 for 13 from the floor, so shooting pretty good there. That's 53.8%, while the Rockets 6 for 14 at 42.9%. They're 2 from 6 from 3. Both teams haven't really been attempting the 3 ball as much, especially Ball State.
Yeah, and Ball State, that category is the only one that they're, I would say, bottom tier of the MAC in. They're 10th in the MAC in the 3-point percentage.
Here's Kiefer and now McConowitz for the Rockets. So back underway here in the second quarter. Toledo will start with possession. Carruthers moves it outside to Dykstra. Dykstra works inside of Becky. Dykstra, nice move there to the basket. Got off glass and in. 16-14 Toledo. Dykstra's first points in this one.
Yeah, good patience as well.
Becky left wing. Nice couple of step overs. Gets the screen set there. Now she'll launch a deep 3. That's off the left side of the rim and goes out of play. Had the screen set there from Kiefer, but Ball State comes up empty.
Yeah, and she was a little off balance with her triple as well. That could have affected the shot.
Dykstra. Goss hands it off for Toledo. Now Goss in the right corner by the Ball State bench. Goss there. She'll travel as she tried to move her way inside the charity stripe. So a turnover for the Rockets.
Yeah, she kind of looked up floor and started moving that way before dribbling the basketball, and goes down as a turnover.
That was Becky's first three-point attempt. That lost Ball State offensive possession. Here they go again with Bischoff. Becky top of the key, finds it to Bischoff. She'll take a wide open three from the right wing. That one off top of the rim and no good. McComas is very well to keep that in play. Handed off to Garcia.
Yeah, what a move by her to keep it in play and know exactly where her teammate was.
Garcia 0 for 3 from the floor to start here. Garcia works inside, out to Dykstra, top of the key towards the left wing here. Carruthers. Garcia for Toledo, handing that one off, looking for the run of Dykstra. A little too much juice on that pass.
Yeah, very hard pass, and it went behind Dykstra. She would have been set up so well for an easy layup had that pass been right on her.
And we have a Ball State player down towards the right side of the basket here from our angle here at Rocket Arena. I can't tell who that is, Caden. I don't know if you have a better look than me.
I think it's Becky again.
Oh, no.
That looks like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Becky. By process of elimination, the other 4 players on the floor I see standing up and walking around.
So we're going to go to a timeout here on the floor. Becky is now up and will walk to the bench. I didn't quite see what happened. We did see her go down early in this game in that first quarter. That was early in the game, and she seemed to be just fine as she'll head to the bench. So that's something to definitely keep an eye on there.
Yep.
So that will bring us to a timeout here. 16-14, the Rockets in front of the Ball State. 8:31 left to play here in the second quarter. You're listening to the MAC Championship game here on Falcon Radio.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home. I'm probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth.
Step out of the car, please.
I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
Back here now, 8:31 left to play here in Cleveland before halftime in the 2025 MAC Championship game. 16-14 is your score. Toledo in front by 2. Lucas Kleinmeyer alongside Caden Net with you. And that's the second time we've seen Becky go hunched over or go to the floor this game. And the MAC Player of the Year, if she can't continue or if she's going to be not even full percent in this game, that's going to be very bad for Ball State. It's going to hamper what they can do offensively.
Yeah, they need her to run their offense and really just compose the team and make sure that everything is running as smoothly as possible.
Ball State scoreless in nearly 2 minutes here. The Rockets 9-2 run in the last 4 minutes and change. And they're up by 2. It's been a little bit of a chess match here early on. Both teams really good defensive play, but both teams still trying to find their groove offensively. Ball State still 0 for 3 from three-point range, 7 for 15 shooting. I should say 7 for 15 shooting for both teams so far in this game. The difference is Toledo has 2 for 6 threes, so still looking for the first Cardinal three-pointer in this contest. Not a lot of big rebounding battles. 7-6 Toledo up by 1. Points in the paint have been even as well, 10-10. So not a whole lot separating both teams.
Yeah, I think it's just the lack of shots is why we have the low rebounding totals on both ends. I mean, really both defenses are smothering each other's offenses. And, I mean, like you said with the turnovers, there's just been 8 on Toledo's side, 6 on Ball State's side. And Toledo scored 7 off of those to the Cardinals' 6.
So Becky is still back on that court for Ball State as we're back underway here. But something to definitely keep an eye on for the remainder of this one. Kiefer. Becky moves inside. Richard pump fakes. Richard back out to Kiefer. Kiefer had the opening to take a shot there, and they're going to give Ball State here for a travel.
Another uncharacteristic miscue.
So that'll be on Maria Kiefer. That'll be her first turnover and the team's 7th this contest. 16-14 Toledo, still 8-12 left to play here. The Rockets back on the offensive prowl. McConowitz, right wing, top of the key, Goss. Carruthers, guarded by Bischoff. Carruthers now down low. Garcia working her way inside the arc. Garcia hands it off here. Goss, shot clock down to 5 now. Garcia down the 1, need to put a shot here. Garcia driving to the rim, and that'll be an offensive foul. Becky stood her ground there underneath the basket, and Garcia kind of ran her over.
Yeah, she 100% did. And, you know, with 3 seconds on the shot clock, you do not want Garcia to be at the top of the key like she was, because she's not a player that's going to launch up that triple. And Ball State, again, just stood their ground and made sure not to bail out the Rockets and foul.
So the officials will go to the scores table here and look over, I guess, to make sure they get the call right.
And maybe Garcia got an elbow on a Cardinal or something like that.
I didn't see anything too more contact in besides just your typical charge.
Right. Because she was, I mean, to protect the ball, she kind of went back and forth, which is what you usually see players do. Just got a little contact, and based on how quick the review was, I'm assuming that it's just a regular foul.
So we'll go down for just a personal foul for Garcia. It'll be her 3rd turnover this contest as well. She's 0 for 3 shooting from the floor, as we mentioned earlier. Been a very slow start for Garcia for the 6th man of the year, who's now been trusted into the starting 5 for head coach Bogus. Kiefer, right wing. Bischoff. Now I have Austin here, top of the key. Austin with quick handles there, gets it back out to Richard. Into the right corner here, a 3-ball away from Kiefer. That ricochets in and out. Trying to get the rebound there was Richard. Instead, it's stolen away from Fed Robinson and the Rockets.
9 times out of 10, Richard is going to hold on to that and give Ball State another possession.
Seemed like she was hesitant to take that open 3. Garcia, long switch here in the left corner. Fed Robinson. Pump fake moves inside. Spin and move there on Bischoff. That one rolls in and out. So come out empty here. Both teams still going a little bit cold here offensively. Still 16-4 Toledo. Under 7 minutes left to play here. Bounce pass inside. Kiefer puts it up and in. And are we going to get an offensive call here, or are we going to get a 3-point play? Can't quite see. The call is no shot. It will be an offensive foul. So it goes along with the trend this game. A lot of offensive fouls. Garcia there takes the brunt of that one. So wave off the shot there from Kiefer. She'll get her first personal foul and her 2nd turnover.
Yeah, and Garcia going over to the bench to a standing ovation by the Toledo faithful.
Big crowd here on hand too as well at Rocket Arena. Solid half and half. You see some gold and navy along with some red, white, and black for Ball State. There's Goss, so Toledo coming back the other way off the turnover. Destiny Robinson pulls a mid-range jumper there from the left elbow, no good. Goss trying to hold in the rebound. It goes into the hands of McConowitz. McConowitz loses it initially, now in a tuss-up there with Austin and Becky. Jump ball will favor Ball State, so sloppiness again there for Toledo offensively, and the Cardinals take over.
Yeah, both teams cannot buy a shot to save their lives right now. Over 3 minutes each in scoring droughts.
A slow start and quarter offensively for both these teams. We're almost at the halfway point. 6:22 left to play here in the 2nd.
Yeah, we've had 2 points this quarter, Lucas.
Definitely feels like it. Austin, who's inside left wing, top of the key. Nice pump fake there by Stuck. Stuck pulls a mid-range, and that one off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by McConowitz.
I'm just seeing Ball State take shots that they usually do not take, especially with their bigs. Like, usually they work inside. They don't take those longer shots.
So here comes Toledo offensively. McConowitz, top of the key. Moves inside on Richard. McConowitz out to left wing here. 3-ball on the way. There, that one from Goss, no good. And rebounded there from Richard and Ball State.
Yeah, Goss again off balance with her shot despite having the space.
Becky got elusive there, got inside there and lays it up in and off the glass. Nice move to the right. We're tied at 16 apiece now with 5:30 left to play here in the second.
Yeah, man, did she weave and bob around the Toledo defenders to create that basket.
Ball State marching band and cheerleaders trying to give their defense here some motivation. Goss, top of the key, working inside. Nice couple moves, was double team initially. Now pass down, let McConless as well to keep that ball in play. And that's a high-arcing shot there that went to the other side of the basket, but she took a hard fall there, but she is fouled.
Yeah, that was a very hard fall.
So that's going to be Alex Richards' first personal foul for the Cardinals. So Toledo's McConowitz will go to the charity stripe.
Yeah, and she kind of set herself up in a way where the shot was either going to go in or she was going to get fouled.
McConowitz had a double-double yesterday against those Bulls to get to the MAC championship. And that first one from McConowitz ricochets in and out. That's something you don't see very often.
Yeah, it definitely is not something you see happen often from McConowitz, an 82.3% free throw shooter this season.
McConowitz second attempt, that one falls. So Toledo back in the lead, 17-16. And she'll check out along with Robinson. Checking back in for the Rockets is Cole and Carruthers. So Becky and Ball State come back the other way, trying to retake the lead. A lot of lead changes down this stretch. Becky, nice return pass here to Stuck. Becky gets a screen set from Stuck, and gets it back to Stuck, laid it up and just short. Good defensive play there from Toledo. Carruthers, top of the key. That was a great defensive play there from the Rockets to stop the combination there of Stuck and Becky. Cook fed Robinson. Carruthers now top of the key. Ball State not allowing them any space to shoot, but now it's a good screen set there from Cook. Gets Goss driving to the right side. Carruthers now out to the right wing beyond the arc. Shot clock down to 2 now. Goss will heave up a 3, and she hits it as the shot clock was expiring. Goss, that's her second 3. Team high 6 points, 20-16 Toledo.
How about that splish-splash action? What a shot. Catch and shoot.
Taking that all the way down at the end of the shot clock. Becky finds a wide open Cardinal in the corner. That 3 is woefully short there from Bischoff. A lot of contact, but picked up by Stuck. And Stuck lays it up and in and 1. And now we have a little bit extracurriculars as another Cardinal. I believe that was Bischoff taking a tumble away from the play.
And that'll bring us to a media timeout.
So we'll get Jessica Cook for the personal foul. We'll see if there's something more in this play. It is second team foul this quarter for the Rockets. And there's going to be a video review of this play to see if there might have been maybe an unsportsmanlike shove there.
Yeah, and we've had quite a few breaks, I'd say, this quarter, more than the normal. We had that injury stoppage at about the 8-minute mark. We had a replay review stoppage, now another replay review stoppage.
Well, offensively, it has tanked both teams' shooting percentage. 9-21 now for Ball State, 8 for 19 for Toledo. That's about 42% for each team. And 0 for 5 from the 3 still for Ball State. 3 for 7 for Toledo. Goss has hit 2 big triples.
Yeah, and really, I mean, we've just seen 4 of the 13 shots between these two teams this quarter go in. I mean, all the trends are just red on our stat book right now.
And you look at the other stats as well. You look at rebounding, 11-9. Toledo in that leading that category just by 2. And you look at turnovers as well. Those have been similar to 10-8 Toledo. Paint points, 14 for Ball State, 10 for Toledo. So a lot have been similar, not anything too crazy outside of Ball State going scoreless from 3.
Yeah, and, you know, before this game, I was doing some math on each of these teams. Toledo's starting 5 today has about 573 games of experience. Ball State 622. Put it together, 1,195 games of combined experience at the collegiate level between these two teams.
Unbelievable. 96 all-time meeting between these two programs. Toledo leads 63-32, so a heavily favored series for the Rockets. Not a bad 96 all-time matchup. The winner We'll get the confetti, get the T-shirts, get the hat, get the trophy, and get a spot in the NCAA tournament, represent the MAC.
Yeah, and that's obviously a huge feat.
So we're still looking here at the scores table, our officiating crew, trying to see if something more. I didn't see any sort of unnecessary push, but again, we were watching Stuck grab that rebound. Stuck did a very good job coming out of nowhere, grabbing that rebound, put the shot there, and was fouled. So we have a 3-point play coming up at least.
Yep.
So we'll see what the call is.
I think they stuck with a common foul, is what the PA announcer here said.
And I think as this tournament has gone along this week, Kane, you see each game get more and more intense.
Yes.
Especially last night as well.
Yeah. I can only imagine how difficult it is to officiate it as well.
So Stuck here will try to complete the 3-point play. Shot is up and good, so Ball State cuts the lead down to just one. 20-19 is your score. The Rockets up by 1. 4 minutes left to play here before halftime at Rocket Arena. Carruthers, top of the key. Bounce pass to Cook. Cook works her way inside, looking for an option. Now goes out to the left wing for Fed Robinson. Fed Robinson drives inside, working on Austin. Now hands it off to Cook. That pass took her out to the courtside area. On the other side of the left wing. Now Fed Robinson gets it back. Fed Robinson pulls up mid-range jumper. That one off the mark. And that was Johnson trying to hold that one in. And they're getting a foul here on Jessica Cook. And I believe if that is on Cook, that's going to be her second personal.
Yeah, back-to-back fouls, and McConowitz will probably come in for her.
Indeed, that will happen. But not for Cook.
But not for Cook, yep. Coach Bogus keeping her out there. Cook, of course.
Here's Becky. Back the way for Ball State. Becky, top of the key. Stuck. Johnson. Moves her way inside and out to Austin. Johnson back to the right wing. Worked inside. 10 on the shot clock for Ball State. Bischoff here, right wing. Moves inside, top of key, dribbling with her left. 3 Rockets around her. That shot no good. Ball on the floor. Jump ball signal. Possession arrow is going to favor, I believe, the Rockets. And it will.
Yeah, that was a lose-lose situation for Bischoff underneath. Like you said, just 3 Rockets were all over her, and she fell down to make matters worse.
I think if you're Ball State as well, this is not the half you wanted. I think if you're Toledo, you got to go in the halftime here feeling happy. You're playing a defensive game. You're up by 1 over the number 1 seeded Cardinals.
Yeah, I think Coach Bogus' message during the intermission will be very similar to the one yesterday.
It's 2019 Toledo. The Rockets back on the attack. 2:45 left to play here in the second quarter. Carruthers here, right wing. Into Garcia. 3 on the shot clock now. Garcia. McConowitz won the play. McConowitz, that one is off balance, and I believe they're going to get a shot clock violation on McConowitz.
That's the second time today that Toledo's gotten off a shot as the shot clock has expired, and it's bounced off the backboard but not the rim. I mean, McConowitz kind of one-handed hooked that up, and it was very low percentage, but she had to throw one up.
Richard in for Johnson for Ball State, as Ball State will take over once more. Trying to give themselves the lead right back here. Under 2 minutes and 30 seconds to play before halftime. Becky, mid-range jumper here from Ball State. That was Richard. That one hit off the front of the rim and fell, so no basket there. Garcia and the Rockets come back the other way. Garcia dribbling with the ref there, and that was knocked away from Richard. And a 3-ball on the way here from Austin. That one off the mark. Richard trying to hold the rebound, comes all the way back out to Becky. Becky works inside, gets past Garcia. Becky lays it up and in. Ball State back in front, 21-20 Cardinals.
Yeah, and they've scored the last 5 points in this contest. That Austin 3 was very off balance. She didn't really set herself, but got bailed out there.
Here's Cole for the Rockets, and a 3-ball on the way for Carruthers, and that hits nothing but net. Toledo, just like that, retakes the lead, 23-21, minute 35 before halftime.
Beautiful shot from the sophomore.
Becky, right wing, screen set from Stuck. Becky trying to feed inside, does so to Richard. Richard working on Garcia. Garcia wins that battle. Garcia will hold in the defensive rebound.
It kind of looked like she just chucked the ball at the rim and it didn't go in, obviously.
Carruthers, Garcia back to Carruthers left wing, a minute 10 here in the second quarter. 23-21 Toledo. Carruthers trying to extend Toledo's lead. Left wing Goss, 5 on the shot clock, feed inside of McConnell. She was triple teamed by Cardinals. She can't hold that one in. It's in the hands of Becky. We're down to about 52 seconds left. Here's Austin. Austin left wing, dribbling inside. Spin move there on Carruthers. She knocks it out of play. Ball State will remain with possession.
Yeah, nice on Carruthers to poke that one away because, I mean, it looked from here like she was going to create a foul based on her positioning, but she did not.
Dabrowski will check in for the Rockets. She'll check in for Garcia. Goss comes out as well as Fed Robinson comes back in.
Definitely a defensive move to be taller underneath.
Becky inbound that pass there to Stuck. Stuck trying to get that outlet pass. It's no good. It's taken away from the Rockets. McConnell's there. Feed that one from Fed Robinson. That shot no good, but she is fouled. And they're going to get Austin here for Ball State.
Well, Lucas, it was Novorosky who created that turnover there just in the game, standing at 6'5", and she held her ground.
McConnell and Dykstra. McConnell comes out for Ella Weaver. Dykstra is in for Toledo. Fed Robinson. First attempt from the charity stripe is up and good.
How about Fed Robinson getting significant minutes as a freshman? Such a big game.
That second one there offline. 24-21 Toledo. Got about 5 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock, down to 27 seconds left and counting. Becky, guarded by Dykstra.
Safe to say this is a big possession.
Kiefer. Becky. Kiefer again working inside, drive baseline. Kiefer, that one way offline. Can it do that one? And trying to hold in for Toledo. They'll get a foul on Ball State, but a great defensive stop there from the Rockets.
Yeah, and I think that was Becky who committed the foul, but just the shot that was missed there by Kiefer was a bad miss. Again, that's just another shot that you just see go in for her 19 times out of 20.
1 for 6 shooting so far this game for Kiefer. Don't really like the shot selection there either there, Caden. And you have 8.1 seconds left. You leave plenty of time for Toledo to extend their lead heading into halftime. Fed Robinson inbounds to Carruthers. Carruthers, 5 seconds left. Here's Fed Robinson now with 3 seconds left. Fed Robinson, couple of moves. She'll jack up a 3 here. Fed Robinson, and that one is just off the mark. And that's how this first half of the MAC championship comes to a close. The Rockets up by 3 over the Ball State Cardinals. 24-21 is your score. Toledo looking to hold on and get a spot in the NCAA tournament. Ball State looking to come back and get their crown in the MAC championship game. We'll take a quick break and we'll recap the first half and preview what's to come in the third quarter. Don't go anywhere listening to the 2025 MAC championship women's basketball game right here on Falcon Radio.
Hi, I'm Anna Sidek. I'm a freshman setter from BGSU volleyball team, and that's my 4 self-care habits. So the first one is drinking a coffee because it helps me to be just energized like during the day. Second thing would be reading a book. I'm such bookworm and I just love it. Other one would be listening to music because like music keeps me calm and I just love it. And the last thing, but not the least, it would be like stretching with Santi, our athletic trainer, because he keeps my body safe and everything. So I'm really grateful for
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com. Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
My name is Bobby. I'm a veteran and lost my leg to a roadside bomb. My victory was going from a wheelchair to becoming a weightlifting champion.
I'm Sam. I'm a veteran. My victory was finding a career that I could be proud of.
At DAV, we're on a mission, helping veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned.
I'm Cece. My victory was finishing my education.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
If you suffer from COPD symptoms like shortness of breath and fatigue, where do you turn? There are medications and oxygen, but do you know about pulmonary rehab? 3 out of 5 COPD patients have never heard of it. Pulmonary rehab is an exercise, education, and support program that gives you tools to manage your condition, and Medicare typically pays for it. So whether it's grocery shopping on your own or just walking across the room, pulmonary rehab can help you. Visit livebetter.org to find out about your options for pulmonary rehab today.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Halftime here in Cleveland, Ohio at Rocket Arena. The Rockets up by 3 over the Ball State Colonels. 24-21 is your score in the 2025 MAC Women's Basketball Championship game. We have 20 minutes of basketball left to be played here until there's one MAC team remaining as they head to the NCAA tournament. Who will be the champion? We'll find out later on. Welcome back to Falcon Radio. Lucas Palmer alongside Kaden Knapp with you. Nate Henner's back in the studio in Falcon Radio as well. First 20 minutes, Kaden, I do think it's pretty easy to say that it was a defensive quarter. Only combination of 45 points between two teams. Shooting was definitely a lot worse in that second quarter than it was in the first, statistically wise. What are your takeaways?
Well, I mean, defense wins championships, and that's a saying for a reason. I mean, the biggest difference, I think, right now is just, I think, the defensive pressure that Toledo has put on Ball State. They have forced 10 turnovers, and they've scored 8 points off those turnovers to Ball State's 6. And I think, like we said in the pregame, that is going to be a very important stat category, and we've been watching that all game.
We have indeed running you some of the stats in the first half. 9 for 20 shooting for the Rockets, 4 for 9 shooting from a 3-point range, only 4 attempts from the charity stripe, 2 for 4. And for Ball State, 10 for 26 from the field. No 3-pointers made in that first half game, 0 for 6. That's got to change in the second half for Ball State.
Yeah, and it feels like they're not playing their type of basketball. All season long, we see them take high percentage shots, nail them, and when they take mediocre percentage shots, more times than not, they go in. And today, like right before the intermission, we saw Keeper launch up a reverse layup and miss it when more times than not she hits that one, and it's the reason they're trailing a lot of it.
It is indeed, and also a combination for both teams, 22 total turnovers. That's 12 turnovers for Toledo and 10 for Ball State. Other stats as well. Points in the paint, Ball State won that margin by 6 in the first half. 16-10 Cardinals in that category. Each team had 7 points of production from their bench. Toledo had 7 points from the fast breaks, though, and Toledo got nothing. And that's also kind of eye-opening when they've had 12 Toledo turnovers.
Yeah, and I mean, easy transition baskets are just very important. I mean, we saw that fantastic catch and shoot shot there from Carruthers, I believe it was, from beyond the arc. And I mean, that's why they have the 7, and that's why it's an odd number. But like I said, it's very important to be able to score off those transition buckets. And I think if Toledo was able to lock off the paint completely in the second half from Ball State, then it's not going to go well at all for the Cardinals, and I could see Toledo kind of running away a little bit, as crazy as that sounds.
Becky led the way for Cardinals, 8 points and 4 rebounds in that first half. For the Rockets, leading the way was a tie between Goss and Carruthers. Each had 6 points as well. You had 6 different Rockets get on the score sheet as well, just 4 for Ball State. Behind Becky with 7 points was at least Stuck. So the Cardinals are going to need a lot more production from their bench and also from their starting 5 as well. But a big thing too, okay, when you look at both sides as well, as only 7 players have seen action on the floor for Ball State. And meanwhile, for the Rockets, 11 players have seen the floors. They have a very deep bench, and Coach Bogus has really trusted that very bench throughout the season, but also those low-end people towards that bench, people 2, 13, 14 on the roster, maybe even 15.
Yeah, as soon as she took the head coaching job here, she pretty much started working on depth and making sure that even if you're the last person on the bench, you need to go in, you have experience, and you're not going to look like you don't know what you're doing when you're out there. And she really works on that. If you look at Ball State, Coach Sally has just, kind of done an 8-person rotation all season long, really 7 with, Kingery sort of getting minutes at times. But he really is focused on that group of players and pretty much lives and dies with them.
They do indeed. All right, Caden, if you're Toledo, how do you keep yourselves in front here and close out the victory and get yourself into the NCAA tournament? But if you're Ball State, how do you complete the job? How do you get back in this one? You're only down by 3, obviously, but how do you retake the lead, get your confidence back, and get going from 3, and to get that MAC championship?
Well, starting with the Rockets, I'm going to say they need to, really keep up what they've been doing with the defensive intensity, and if they are able to lock down that painted area, like I said a few minutes ago, it's going to go very, very well for them. And, if they're able to, on the offensive end, hit a few more shots, especially some threes, again, it's going to go really, really well for them, more likely than not. And if you look at Ball State, they just need to return to playing their type of basketball. Again, like we've said, they've had the looks. They've created the takeaways. They just haven't been able to convert on them like they have all season long.
We'll see who will come out on top here. Second half of action here. Our second to last final game here in the MAC tournament. We have the men's MAC championship coming up later tonight on Falcon Radio at 7:30. Toledo up by 3, 24-21 is your score here at halftime. When we come back, we'll have third quarter action right here. Don't go anywhere, listening to the 2025 MAC championship game here on Falcon Radio.
On November 15th, 2024, BGSU Hockey defeated St. Thomas in a shootout, courtesy of a game winner by defenseman Jack Blake. Falcon Media Sports Network's voice of Falcon Hockey, Ben Korak, had the call of the moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And Jack Blake, for all the glory, trying to put this one away. With the puck, taking it around, far side wheel, working in with the shot, and he fills it! Jack Blake with the shootout winner! First time in the lineup this season, and Jack Blake is the hero as Bowling Green mobs him.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yep, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service Ad Council and your state forester.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future in a world that's changing fast. Do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do it all with confidence, kindness, and strength. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing. Inspire kids to do at 4h.org.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Just about a minute to go here in Cleveland, Ohio. Here at Rocket Arena for the 2025 MAC Tournament Championship game. It's the Toledo Rockets and the Ball State Cardinals trying to get the chance to book their spot in the NCAA tournament and win the Mid-America Conference. Can Ball State do the double and win the regular season and the tournament, or can the Rockets finally get over the hump and win the tournament and get into the NCAA tournament? Lucas Kleinmar alongside Caden with you. Nate Henner's back in the studio and Falcon Radio on the campus of Bowling Green State University in the Colleen Center. Defensive first half there, Caden, but should be an exciting one. I think Ball State kind of uncharacteristic of how well they played last game against Kansas State and how they destroyed Western Michigan, for lack of a better words, in that first game. I think we'll be in for a really good second half here.
Yeah, and also speak about doubling up. We've had that happen 22 times in the history of the women's tournament out of the 35 years that it's been around. 25 here in Cleveland. But I think this first possession of the half for Ball State will be important.
And we'll get that first possession here underway here. Ball State early in this one. That three ball wide open in the corner there from Kiefer was in and out to Becky. Becky moves inside, and now it's rejected there from Mekanowitz. Mekanowitz on the fast break to Goss. Goss lays it up and in. It rolls in. The Rockets extend their lead to 5. Turnover. The transition to offense for Toledo.
Yeah, a little bit of back roll action, too, to get that one to just sneak in.
And Becky with grimace there again. She fell on that knee. Still not 100% as that attempt there from Austin is off the mark into the hands of Richard. Richard puts it up and in. Richard now 6 points, 26-23 Toledo. Rockets up by 3.
Yeah, she willed her way to the hoop and to get that basketball back.
Carruthers. Garcia here, right wing. Same starting five for each team as Garcia pulls a mid-range jumper. That one off the mark, no good. Rebounded, held in there by Kiefer.
Garcia has had a quiet offensive game, now 0 of 5 from the floor.
Not been the shooting day Garcia has wanted for sure. Mid-range jumper again from Richard. That one off front of the rim and no good. Garcia now is going to get attached to that foul. Her and Kiefer were tangled up there underneath the basket, and Kiefer hit the deck.
Yeah, Garcia second. And, I mean, when Coach Bogus originally made the move to put the sixth person of the year, Dan Garcia, in the starting five of the tournament, we kind of questioned it for a second, and she had just had such a great quarterfinal and semifinal game. We're like, oh, okay, looks like a great move. And now this game, she has not had a great game at all.
And there, driving to the rim was Bischoff, and Bischoff there. A lot of contact. Will remain Ball State ball. 26-23 Toledo with 8:36 left to play. Ball back inbound, Becky. Spinning around Dykstra. Becky there looking for an option. Now Becky lays it up, and that one no good. And it's back into Richard. What a rebound there from Alex. Richard puts it up. Down by one, 26-25. Rockets lead cut down to just one. 8:20 left to play in the third.
Offensive rebounding is just so important.
How about Carruthers getting an open lane to the basket, getting by Austin. Lays that one up and in. That's Carruthers now up to 8 points, tied for the team lead.
My goodness, she froze her too.
Three ball on the way. The Cardinals' first three ball of the game. Marie Kiefer knocking that one down. We're tied now, 28 all. Under 8 minutes here in the third.
Again, she was left just so wide open. She's like, I have to take it.
McConowitz to Goss, top of the key. Goss now will launch a three. That one off from the rim, as right into the hands of Garcia. The putback just short. Garcia falls to the ground. Kiefer takes that one. Here come the Cardinals. Austin puts on the moves on Carruthers. Austin puts it up and in. The Cardinals in front. Lachelle Austin, her first points in this one, 30-28 Cardinals.
Yeah, and that is what the Cardinals can do to you. 5 points in 40 seconds after going nearly 3 minutes scoreless before that.
Carruthers, bounce pass. Garcia open inside. Kiefer. And it lines a wide open Goss to the left wing. Goss knocks it down. Her third triple of the contest. Toledo back in front, 31-30. The fireworks are flying early here.
Yeah, now up into double-digit points at 11.
Here's Becky, right wing inside. Richard pump fix. Richard now working on Garcia. Richard up and in. 32-31. And the lead changes keep on coming. 6:48 left to play in the third.
Yeah, definitely starting to pile up there. Richard just pushed her way to the hoop. Now it's 10 today.
Garcia long switch here. Three ball in the wing corner. McConowitz. That one ricochets in and out. Becky boxes out there. Goss. And Balsa comes away with it. Now Austin now. Fast-paced third quarter here. Austin step back three on the way. Austin. That one in and out. Into the hands of McConowitz.
Yeah, not the look Austin necessarily wanted, but she's trying to go up-tempo and keep the pace.
This is a lot more like it for both these teams, especially offensively. 4 for 5 in their last 5 attempts from the field, Ball State. While Toledo just 1 for 4. Bounce pass inside McConowitz. Working on Kiefer. McConowitz fade away there. McConowitz, and she's got it. 33-32 Toledo.
How about that step over move to create space and then the fade away?
Now Becky drives to the basket there, puts it up, and then that's a little bit short there. She will be fouled, so it gives us a little bit of a chance to breathe. That'll be Dykstra's second personal foul. McConowitz now, that step back now has her up to 5 points. She now has 5 points to go along with 5 rebounds and 4 steals. Becky's attempt, first one from the line, is up and good, and we're 33 apiece. Second one for Becky. Ball State back in the lead, 34-33. 5:52 left to play here in the third as Robinson comes back in for Toledo. And for Dykstra, Fed Robinson also comes in for Goss. Jessica Cook back in as well. Garcia checks out.
We'll see how Toledo keeps the pace here.
Here's Robinson to Fed Robinson. McConowitz, top of the key. Dribbles inside with the left, gets by there. Kiefer, McConowitz, that one bounces out. Johnson there by the basket there on Cook. It'll be last off of Cook. It'll be Ball State ball. Becky looking to go quick. Austin here. Austin moves inside. Nice couple of dribbles. An offensive foul. Going to be called on Austin. Good basket. But McConowitz again. Right place, right time, standing her ground. And that's going to be Austin's second personal foul.
Coach Sally very, very upset with that one. The official giving him an explanation. But, Lucas, they've been calling that all game.
They have been. And the refs have. The fishing crew has been consistent this game. A lot of offensive fouls from both sides. Ball State still up by one, 34-33, with about 5:20 left to play here in the third. Almost at our third quarter media timeout. Fed Robinson. Here's Carruthers working on Bischoff. Carruthers, now that's a fadeaway jumper. What a shot from Carruthers. Heavily contested, but she got the fall. 35-34 Toledo.
Talk about going around traffic and putting it up anyway.
Here's Becky now working her way to the right. We got a timeout taken from a Ball State. Back and forth, third quarter action here, but Toledo are back in front by one, 35-34. We reached the halfway point of the third quarter. 5 minutes left to play here before we enter the fourth. You're listening to the 2025 MAC Women's Basketball Championship game here on Falcon Radio.
BGSU men's basketball guard Javante Campbell made a game-winning layup against Toledo with 1.6 seconds remaining on February 21st, 2025, giving BG their first win at Savage Arena since 2021. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavlitz had the call of the shot on Falcon Radio.
It's Campbell with the ball, driving inside, layup's no good, rebounded by Exact, the putback's no good. Johnson fights for it, it's kicked back out to Exact, inside to Campbell. Campbell puts the layup, it goes with 1.6 seconds remaining. Javante Campbell with the huge shot, possible shot of the year for Bowling Green. They take the lead with 1.6 seconds remaining over Toledo, 69-68.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
To listen to replays of recent Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts, tune into WBGU 88.1 FM every weekday morning from midnight to 3 a.m.
Back here after this media timeout in the third quarter, Toledo 35-34. It's been an entertaining and explosive third quarter. Both teams exchanging lead changes. Back and forth we go, but the Cardinals, Caden, bullying Toledo in the paint, outscoring them 24-14.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely ramped it up since the intermission, which kind of, I guess, speaks to what Coach Sally said during the locker room. Probably not thrilled with their first half performance. He boasts a record of 14-14 against Toledo in his career. Interestingly enough, though, Lucas, this is just the sixth time this season that Ball State did not head into the locker room leading.
And it's pretty unbelievable when you think about that, with just how dominant they've been this season.
Yep. Yeah, it really is. And then Toledo 15-0 this season when leading at the break.
Could Ball State become the first team to get the MAC championship, or will Toledo upset the Cardinals here and get to the NCAA tournament? We'll find out here. Second half of the third quarter is underway. Becky, look at this one for Ball State. Call for the screen set there from Johnson. Now Becky will launch up a three. That one in and out. Cook holds in the rebound. That was a good rebound there. Had Kiefer and Johnson waiting in the wings. Here's Robinson. Carruthers works her way up to the top of the key. Now left wing Robinson inside to Jessica Cook. Kicks out to wide open Fed Robinson, who kicks out to wide open Ella Weaver. And that one, excuse me, that was actually Cole. And that Weaver that rolled around the rim and goes out of play. And it looks like it will remain Toledo ball.
Yeah, they were just quick passing that possession and then just got poked out of bounds. If you're Ball State, you got to take advantage of McConowitz and Goss not being in the game right now for Toledo.
Carruthers gets the inbound. Open three from top of the key. It hits nothing but net. Carruthers, big basket, 38-34. Toledo up by 4.
Yeah, 5-0 run over the last minute and 39 and counting.
Ball State still just 1 from 10 from beyond the arc as a drive inside there from Richard, and she got that one to go. A lot of contact. Got the fall, 38-36 Toledo. Under 4 minutes left to play in the third.
Yeah, she did a good job at just bouncing off her defender to put that one in while fading away.
Robinson feeds it inside to Cook. Cook pump fakes up and in. Jessica Cook, they're so smart, so patient. Off glass, 40-36 Toledo. Now Becky and Ball State back the other way. Becky working on Robinson. Becky drives baseline, feeds it inside to Kiefer. Kiefer got it, and she's fouled. Trying to get the basket to go, but she'll go to the charity stripe.
Yeah, that was a very awkward shot put up there by Marie Kiefer, and it ended up drawing the foul. But that's Jessica Cook's third personal foul, so she has to be extra careful. Only player this game to reach that number of fouls.
He got 9 personal fouls total for Toledo, 7 for Ball State. And this will be Kiefer's first attempt at the charity stripe. She's made the only 3 so far this game for Ball State. She knocks the first one in. 6 points now for her, trying to make it 7. And she does. 7 points there, 2 for 2, 40-38. Rockets lead up by 2. Comes Robinson in. Toledo back the other way offensively. Robinson gets it by Becky. Fed Robinson now top of the key, guarded by Austin. Fed Robinson drives to the left there. That shot, a lot of contact, hits the underside of the rim, and Austin comes away with it.
Yeah, very interesting shot selection as she was falling to the ground.
Austin to Richard, to the left wing. Here's Austin again. Becky now top of the key. Gets a spin move. It looked like a hand to the face of Robinson. No call given. Shot doesn't go. It goes back out to Austin. Richard works inside there on Jessica Cook there. A lot of contact. And jump ball will favor. And it's going to favor Toledo. Big win defensively there for the Rockets.
Yeah, and you could see that there's a little bit of an adjustment put on by Cook with the 3 fouls. She made sure that she got all ball there and no arm or hand contact.
Garcia back in for Cook. You did mention those 3 personal fouls for Cook. Going to have to be careful there. Remainder of this one. So we have 40-38 here. Toledo 2:49 to play here in the third. As the officials will discuss, I assume something to do with basketball, but who do I know? Seem to be A-OK. We'll resume play here. McConowitz inbound to Robinson. Robinson will go to the right here. McConowitz out to Robinson. Robinson goes left wing, guarded by Kiefer. Robinson puts on a couple moves. Now kicks out in the right corner. Goss back up to Robinson. Step move here. Robinson drives up and no good. Rebounded there from McConowitz. And it looks like they're going to get Kiefer here. What great timing there from McConowitz grabbing that rebound.
Yeah, and it was a highly contested one at that. So she got it through traffic and then made a nice pass ahead. She's the type of player who kind of is always thinking 2 steps ahead. And, I mean, she's a very similar playing style to Allie Becky with that pass-first mentality. And, yeah, I'll score and get those gritty rebounds as well, but I want to create the best shot possible for everyone on my team.
Here's Nan Garcia. Carruthers. Garcia. Double team down low. Garcia got the shot up. No good. Ball State trying to rip the rebound out. And jump ball will favor Ball State, but very physical there down low. I think you're seeing the intensity starting to pick up here with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the third.
Yeah, and I don't think Garcia should have put up that shot. Well, double team there. She should have tried to find an outlet. there's plenty of time on the shot clock as well.
Becky. Outside here, Richard. Richard pump fakes, then moves. Richard puts it up off the glass and rolls in. Big basket there from Richard. Tied at 40 apiece, and how about McConowitz and Stuck? Tangled up there underneath the basket. Let's see if we can get another look there. Both just kind of locking arms underneath the basket. And I think it's right on cue there, Kane. The intensity has definitely been picking up in the past couple minutes or so.
Yeah. I'm wondering, yeah, both teams are going to go to their respective benches because there's a review. But, yeah, Coach Sally, very upset. He was yelling at one of the officials, and then Sammy McConowitz was talking aggressively to another official. It's the MAC Tournament Championship. What would you expect?
Tied at 40 apiece. It's been a good one back and forth here. We've seen good defense. We've seen good offense as well. Ball State, though, 17 for 40 shooting. That's uncharacteristic for them. Toledo 16 for 40. Defense playing huge here. And what's the saying, Caden?
Defense wins championships.
Yes, indeed. And that is true here. But a big thing, too, Ball State still just 1 for 10 for three-point range. And it seems like in the past couple offensive possessions, they've been trying to go away completely from the three-point ball and just been working inside the paint, because that has been working for them, is beating Toledo down low.
Yeah, and it's important to continue doing the things that are working well for you. And I think, like you said, with both teams shooting 40 shots, that just kind of tells you how even the two squads are, just one made shot separating these two.
So it looks like we won't have anything with that little tuss-up underneath the basket. Coach Sally is going to give a little bit of his perspective to our head official. This is going to be a great fourth quarter, Kate. I'm really excited this one.
Yes, same here. Good start to the day.
So we'll inbound here. It will be Toledo ball. Fed Robinson will inbound to Robinson. Pass inside of McConowitz. McConowitz out to Goss. Goss top of the key. Moving inside. Garcia feeds it inside McConowitz. Pump fakes there, working on Stuck. Inside there. Now look about Fed Robinson being the contact and putting that shot up. It rolls out and no good. Ball in the air. And Ball State comes away with it there. Double team, and Becky gets out of that trap. Here's Austin. 2-on-2 for Ball State. If they can hurry, they'll like to hold up the play. Now Austin will try a three, and Austin connects.
Well, she went 4 of 6 from beyond the arc in the semifinal game against Kent State. What a shot there at a big time.
43-40, Ball State back in front. A minute left to play here in the third quarter. Robinson hands it off to Goss, left wing. Switches this to the right side. Garcia now finds a wide open Goss underneath the basket to meet her with Stuck. Kicks it back outside. Now Fed Robinson. Moving inside. 3 on the shot clock. Garcia down the one. Needs to put up a shot there. Not going to get so. They're going to wave it off. Shot clock violation. Defensive stand from Ball State.
Yeah, and that is another shot clock violation that was at the fault of Nan Garcia. I mean, she waited too long to put up that shot, and she's going to go over to the bench for it.
Got 36 seconds left and counting in the third quarter here. Here's Becky and Ball State.
Toledo has not scored in over 3 minutes.
7-0 Ball State run to go along with that. Shot clock winding down to 6 seconds. Becky, pump fakes move. Spins around, trying to get some separation down the one. Becky puts up as the shot clock expires, and that one is going to be short. So how about Toledo there, getting a defensive stand on their end?
Yeah, and again, just making sure not to foul Becky. Usually you see her put a little more power on shots like those, but just didn't quite get her all into that.
7 seconds left, shot clock is off. Toledo will close out the third quarter here. Carruthers in the corner. Fed Robinson to tie. Off the mark, rebounded there by Austin. And that's how the third quarter will come to a close. The Rockets were up by 3 heading into the third. And now the Cardinals are up by 3 heading into the fourth. Ball State looking to close this one and get the MAC championship title to get into the NCAA tournament. 43-40 is your score. We have fourth quarter action coming up here. Who's going to take home the crown? We'll find out. You're listening to the 2025 MAC championship game here on Falcon Radio.
Follow and engage with BG Falcon Media on social media. Find the handle at BG Falcon Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for all sorts of content, including news information, BGSU athletics coverage, and feature stories from across campus. Enjoy specialty content such as full episodes of the local music showcase, Live and Loud. The coverage continues with BG Falcon Media on all major social platforms.
Every year, millions of Americans use opioids to manage pain, and reliance on opioids has led to the worst drug crisis in American history. That's why the CDC recommends safer alternatives like physical therapy to manage pain. Physical therapists treat pain through movement, hands-on care, and patient education. No warning labels required. When it comes to your health, you have a choice. Choose physical therapy. Visit moveforwardpt.com to find a physical therapist in your area.
Falcon Media Sports Network is finally back on the road with BGSU hockey. Make sure to catch the voice of Falcon Hockey, Ben Korak, on the call for every BGSU game this season on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X. The final quarter here in Cleveland at Rocket Arena. Ball State up by 3, 43-40 is your score. The Cardinals looking to get a MAC championship crown and do the double. They won the regular season, the number 1 seed coming to this one, trying to win the tournament and get the NCAA tournament bid. The Rockets came in this one, the number 2 seed, trying to get into the tournament as well. Underway here in the fourth quarter. Toledo will start the ball. Lucas Kleinmar alongside Caden Knapp with you. Nate Hinders in the studio as well here on Falcon Radio. Carruthers spin move there, but she's going to travel. So an early turnover here for the Rockets in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, she moved her plant foot, and not a good time for the turnover.
Not a good time indeed. As Becky and Ball State will get their first offensive possession here. Becky feeds it off here. Richard drives to the basket and lays it up and in. Alex Richard, huge basket there for Ball State.
Yeah, Ball State has absolutely taken over the last 5 or so minutes. 11-2 run now. McConowitz dribbles inside. Goss tries a 3. Goss off the front rim, no good. Rebounded there from Cook, who puts it up and in. What a rebound for Cook. Right place, right time. 45-42, Ball State up still by 3. Yeah, Jessica Cook's been having a sneaky good game. 8 points off the bench, 4 of 4 from the floor, and 2 rebounds.
Here's Becky putting on a couple moves on Carruthers, trying to get some separation through that left wing. Now into the left elbow. Richard, who's had a phenomenal game. It's 16 points for her. That shot there a little bit short there on Cook.
Another nice defensive effort by Cook.
Richard is 3 rebounds away as well from a double-double here for the Cardinals. Carruthers drives to the basket. A lot of contact there. Shot no good. And I think we have a Cardinal either cramping up. And indeed, I think we do. I think I was stuck for Ball State there. She'll come out.
Yeah, and they tagged Jessica Cook with her 4th personal foul. She's still out there, though. Check that. She just now went over to the bench, but that's huge.
Indeed it is, as Nowrosky comes back in for Toledo. 45-42 Ball State, 8-18 left to play here in this one before we crown the 2025 MAC champion. Bischoff. Here's Becky. Top of the key. Dribbling inside. Off glass and a little too strong there. It'll fall right to the hands of Kiefer, but she is fouled.
Yeah, usually in the 4th quarter, that's when you see the fouls start to climb because you have a bunch of tired legs on the floor, and it's especially when it's physical, tended to get a lot more scrappy in the 4th when it's close too.
That was McConwitz' 3rd personal foul, so coming to keep an eye on it there. Becky gets the ball inbound, works on Dykstra. Nowrosky there, a lot of contact on that shot, hands it off to Kiefer. Kiefer feeds it down low. Bischoff, and she's rejected by the basket there by Nowrosky, and she's fired up.
Yeah, the graduate student said, "Get that weak stuff out of here." What a block, and she was very thrilled about that. She just long stared Bischoff after that.
So big block there for Toledo. A big thing to think on too. Jessica Cook 1 foul away from fouling out. 8 points. So Ball State will still inbound, and they'll get a Toledo foul. And I think they are going to get Nowrosky. And I think she was a little too fired up there.
Yeah. That's already Toledo's 3rd team foul at the 7:47 mark of the 4th quarter. Ball State yet to commit one in the 4th.
Here's Austin off the inbound for Ball State. That one's tipped in the air and stolen from McConowitz.
Just not a good pass. McConowitz had the angle to cut that one off.
Dykstra works inside, right wing, Fed Robinson. Long switch in the left corner, McConowitz. Feeds inside looking for Nowrosky, and they're going to get Richard here for the foul. That'll be her 2nd.
Yeah, she was trying to keep Nowrosky from receiving the basketball and having an easy turnaround layup.
Inbound this one. Here's Goss, top of the key. Was looking to find McConowitz there, and they're going to get an offensive foul on hand Nowrosky. So that's 2 back-to-back fouls on a defensive and offensive possession for Nowrosky, and she'll come out.
Yeah, and it's Cook who's in for once again. Still with those 4 fouls. So every single Toledo defensive foul from here on out will result in Ball State free throws. And you don't want to send them to the line.
Ball State is in the bonus. 45-42, 7:07 left to play here in Cleveland. Richard to Bischoff. She'll lock and load a 3. Madeline Bischoff hits it.
What a run this has been.
48-42, Ball State lead extends to 6. Under 7 minutes left to play. And a timeout is going to be taken from Toledo. And the Ball State fans here at Rocket Arena are fired up. Big run for the Cardinals. They're up by 6. 6:47 left to play here in the MAC championship game. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back. You're listening to the 2025 MAC Women's Basketball Championship Final here on Falcon Radio.
Standing up for what's right. Helping out when things go wrong. Seeking the truth and speaking our minds. Not just making records, but breaking them. Leading the way behind the camera, beyond the runway, and on the silver screen. Not just making our mark, but making a difference. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
On January 31st, 2025, BGSU senior forward Jackson Niedermeyer scored a game-winning goal in overtime on the road against Northern Michigan, notching BG 2 points and securing Niedermeyer's first multi-point game as a Falcon. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak had the call on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Larson with the shot, taken away by Bowling Green. This is Jackson Niedermeyer, takes it up the right wing, looking for a pass, now looking for a shot, he scores! Jackson Niedermeyer, the overtime winner with a buck left in overtime. And Bowling Green takes the much-needed extra point. What a wrist shot.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Back here in Cleveland, Ohio at Rocket Arena, 6:47 to play here. Timeout was taken by Toledo. This is a 12-2 Ball State run in the last near 7 minutes to put them up by 6. Lucas Kleinmeyer alongside Kay and I with you for the 2025 MAC Women's Basketball Championship game. The winner will win the MAC and also get a spot in the NCAA tournament. Ball State turning it up when it matters the most.
Yeah, 12-2 run over the last 6 minutes and 54 seconds. And, you know, I think the next few minutes are going to be very, very big, and it's going to tell us how this game is going to finish. If this run continues for Ball State, I think they're going to end up running away. If Toledo hits a few big buckets and makes a few great defensive stops, I think it's going to be really close down the stretch. And, you know, maybe March 15th is just lucky for Ball State because that was the day, the last time they beat the last time they won in the MAC tournament championship on March the 15th of 2009.
March 15th, 2009. 16 years to the day.
Yep. 5,844 days.
How many minutes, how many hours, how many minutes, how many seconds?
I didn't get that far.
All right, fine. Here's Dykstra inbound this one to Garcia. Remind you, Cardinals up by 6, 48-42. Garcia inside there trying to find Goss. That pass is tipped in the air into the hands of Becky.
Man, did Becky come out of nowhere to grasp that basketball.
Becky in the Richard mid-range jumper. Richard up and good. Game high, 18 points for Richard. The lead's up by 8, 50-42 Cardinals.
Largest lead of the game for Ball State as well.
And Richard, they're trying to tip that one away. It's a loose ball, and it's going to go to possession for Ball State. Brady Sally is fired up on the bench. Alex Richard, her second steal of the contest. And Anan Garcia foul to make it her third personal. The Cardinals trying to extend the lead to double digits. It would be the largest lead this game.
Yeah, and had the officials ruled that Ball State possessed the basketball, they'd be getting free throws right now, but that was technically a Garcia offensive foul. So that's why there's no free throws.
Definitely a good note there. Becky inbound to Richard. Bischoff. And to Becky. We're saying it wasn't tipped last off of Becky, so no backcourt violation there. Fed Robinson does take that one, and this time Toledo will get the turnover. Nicely defensive play there from Destiny Robinson on Becky.
Yeah, she stayed with Becky the entire way. And how about this? A freshman guarding a senior. Best player in the MAC.
Yeah, MAC player of the year for Becky. Unbelievable stuff there. Under 6 minutes left to play here at Rocket Arena. 50-42 Ball State Toledo. Need to stop the scoreless run of 3 minutes plus. They want to get back in this one. Robinson, Goss. McConwitz screaming for it in the left corner. Instead, they give it to Carruthers. Carruthers. Now they get to McConowitz. Now in the left corner. Now this time is Robinson. Robinson drives baseline, kicks it out in the right corner. Goss, a three on the way. Goss, a little bit short into the hands of Becky.
Yeah, Toledo looking like they did in the first half, just not being able to buy a shot. One of their last 9 from the floor.
Nice feed inside. Kiefer, a shot no good. That was last off of Richard. It will be Toledo ball.
Yeah, she had a good look there from the far elbow, just couldn't hit it. Interesting note with Coach Bogus and Nan Garcia, who just subbed out, is when Garcia played at Penn State, Bogus was the assistant coach there, so a little bit of connection. Probably the reason why Garcia elected to come over to Toledo.
Right now, under 5 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. 50-42, Ball State. Fed Robinson trying to get Toledo something started, and that pass won't do so. Austin picks this one off. Another takeaway here for Ball State. Feed inside. Richards wide open in the post. Richard up and in. It's a 10-point lead for the Cardinals, and Richard and Ball State are fired up.
10 of 16 from the floor is Richard. She's been phenomenal all tournament long.
20 points, 8 rebounds, and the Cardinals have a double-digit lead here with 4:34 left to play here. Our Toledo timeout will also be our 4th and final media timeout. The Cardinals are trying to get their first MAC championship in 16 years. The Rockets looking to get their 2nd and 3. Can the Rockets come back? We'll find out here. Don't go anywhere, listening to the 2025 MAC championship game here on Falcon Radio.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys! I love this song! I love these nachos. I love our kickball league! Ugh! I love this guy! What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here in Cleveland, here in Rocket Arena, 52-42 is your score. The Cardinals an 18-4 run. Toledo scoreless in nearly 5 minutes here in the fourth quarter. The most crucial part in any game, any basketball game, it's the Cardinals stepping up with Alex Richard. 20 points and 8 rebounds.
Yeah, and it's the experience that is taking Ball State really on their way to winning it all. I mean, 120 career games collegiately for Alex Richard, senior from Avon, Indiana. Has played AAU ball or high school basketball or collegiate ball since a junior high student.
Coming back out here from this last media timeout, can Toledo stop the bleeding, get on the run? They need to at least score 10 here to at least tie it and hold Ball State scoreless. 52-42, 4:28 left to play here. Here we go. Carruthers working on Kiefer. Carruthers to McConowitz, to the left wing. McConowitz, top of the key, drives to the left, gets a little bit of separation. McConowitz a little too strong there. Into the hands of Cook. And Ball State again standing strong defensively there. Becky comes away with it. 10 points, 4 assists too for the MAC Player of the Year.
Now this is where Ball State's going to slow down the tempo and take down the shot clock.
Becky feeds it. Kiefer up. That one rolls in and out. Rebounded by Richard. Puts it up. Richard! Someone turned down the thermostat. Oh my goodness, Richard. 22 points. Three ball on the way here from Robinson. That one no good. Rockets player both colliding to get that rebound. Jump ball will favor Ball State, and that's just Toledo getting in their own way. My goodness, this has been Alex Richards' quarter, Caden.
It really, really has. She's just been fantastic all game, but like you said, she's especially just turned it up in this fourth quarter of gameplay, and really the whole Ball State team has outscoring Toledo 11-2, and we still have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play.
Here's Richard. Pump fix there on Cook. That one no good, so a little bit of a heat check there. I think they turned down the thermostat there. Carruthers left wing drives, open lane. Carruthers up and in. First Toledo basket in over 5 minutes, 54-44. Ball State still up by 10 with 3:10 left to play here in this one.
Yeah, we'll see how Toledo plays defensively here and how much pressure they decide to apply.
There's Becky. Richard. Likes to go herself. Richard drives to the line. Richard up and in. Make it 24 points for her. She's a rebound away from a double-double.
Very smart by Richard going up on Cook, who has 4 fouls, knowing that Cook was not going to play 100%.
Now McConowitz drives to the rim there. Lays that one up and in. Lead down to 10 now. 56-46 Ball State. McConowitz had 7.7 rebounds and 5 steals. She's been everywhere, especially in the steals category.
Definitely will be on the All-MAC tournament team.
Now Becky outside Richard. Now mid-range jumper. Richard! Why not? Of course it goes in. Another basket there from Richard.
Once again, she's just using the fact that she's being guarded by Jessica Cook to her advantage.
58-46 Ball State. And McConowitz, that one's going to roll around the rim about once or twice. Got to go. She's fouled. A chance for a three-point play.
I think that was the slowest and one opportunity that we have had in quite some time. Everyone's like, is it going to go in? And then it did.
Garcia back in for Toledo for Cook. So like you mentioned there, Caden, Richard just bullying Cook there down low defensively. So McConowitz makes it a three-point play. Now cuts the lead down to single digits, 58-49. Ball State, we got about just over 2 minutes left to play here in the first half. In the fourth quarter, I should say. First half, my mind's gone everywhere. A lot of calling. Becky to Kiefer. Gives it to Bischoff. Here's Austin. Austin finds the open Richard underneath the basket there. How about that? Timing her run to perfection. Garcia immediately jumped. And as she was going up, Garcia hits the back of Richard's head. And Richard will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, that is her 4th personal foul as well, Garcia. And like you said, she was just kind of falling over, and Richard used that to her advantage and is getting free throws.
How about just the basketball IQ?
Yeah.
To wait for your jump, knowing Garcia was going to bite there. I mean, this fourth quarter has been an absolute clinic for Ball State, and that's why they were the regular season champions. Made it the number 1 seed and came all the way here. First one from Richard is up and good.
I mean, Ball State has outscored every single team in every single quarter, at least according to their stat book.
Richard 2 for 2, 28 points and 9 rebounds for her. Fed Robinson drives open to the lane. Garcia can hold in the rebound. It's Becky who gets it. Becky long on that pass. Austin tips it to Richard. Oh, just a little bit short there. Almost had her 30-piece. And Goss comes away with it. What a play that would have been.
Yeah.
Quick passing for Ball State now. Robinson comes back the other way on the fast break. Pulls up for Garcia. Pump fakes here. Needs to put up a 3 and does. Garcia! How about that? Over a lot of contact. Nan Garcia. It's an 8-point ball game. A minute and 18 left. 60-52 Ball State.
Yeah, what a shot from the wing.
Becky gets it to Kiefer. McConowitz now match up with Richard inside. Kiefer has an open lane in the basket. Richard to Bischoff. Going to waste some clock here.
Toledo's going to have to start fouling soon.
Down to under a minute here in Cleveland. 8-point lead here for Toledo. Becky guarded heavily by Garcia. 3 on the shot clock. Becky and the Kiefer. Kiefer puts it up, and that's rejected out from McConowitz. 1's on the shot clock for the Cardinals. 47.6 seconds left. And we have a timeout taken here from Ball State. Just a quick 30-second timeout. We'll stay right here. 30-plus games in the MAC women's basketball season. Only 2 remain. And now Ball State are looking to do the double and win the regular season and the tournament and get back in the NCAA tournament for quite some time.
Yeah, I'm looking at their score by period splits right now, and in the second quarter of the season, they've outscored their opponents by 200 points.
I love how you said that, like it was so nonchalant. Like it was something no big deal. That is unbelievable for Ball State.
Yeah, every single quarter, like I said, just more points than their opponents. And it's a lot of them aren't even close. It's like no wonder they have led at halftime in 28 games this season. Toledo on the verge of losing their first game at which they've led at halftime this season. Coach Brady Sally on the verge of winning his 400th career game.
Becky inbounds Richard, and shot clock expires, so.
I mean, Ball State is ranked 12th in the mid-major top 25. Toledo got votes for that, but Ball State only MAC team inside the top 25.
Down to 43 seconds, 8-point lead for Toledo. They can't waste much clock here. They're going to get an offensive foul on Novorosky. So the shot from Mikanowicz, don't even bother. That's another mistake there from Novorosky. That's going to be her third, and she'll come out.
And that might just seal the deal.
So in comes Cook. You have Garcia, Cook, and Novorosky, the 3 5s for Toledo. 2 are 1 foul away from fouling out, and Novorosky now has 3. There's Becky, and she'll be fouled.
I mean, talk about Toledo, though. They've been a team who's been very dominant in the Mid-American Conference, especially the last 4 years. 65-9. I mean, they obviously won the MAC tournament a few years ago, beat Bowling Green.
They did, indeed. That was last year of Robin Freilich. I was with Alyssa Brett, Olivia Hill, Lexi Fleming, Amy Velasco. You had Nyla Hampton, former Cardinal Nyla Hampton, played last year. Jocelyn Tate as well. So pardon me, there wasn't a foul. It was actually a quick 30-second timeout for Ball State before the fouls committed from Robinson. So Ball State will inbound near the Toledo bench when we come out of this one. Soon by the Ball State bench. Been a long day. And it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. What a great tournament it's been, though. A lot of good games, a lot of big teams, and you and I have been lucky enough to be a part of some good ones.
Yes. It's been a fun experience, to say the least.
Here's Austin to Becky. Becky, long switch here, open to Bischoff. Bischoff to Austin. Austin back to Bischoff, and Austin will be fouled with 28.8 seconds left to play. And these free throws could pretty much ice the game and bring the championship to Muncie, Indiana.
Much deserved as well for Ball State.
First one here from Austin. It rattles in and out. So still an 8-point lead for Ball State. Here's Austin again, trying to go 1 for 2, and does. So lead up to 9, 61-52 Cardinals.
By the way, Alex Richards scored 33 points in the meeting against Toledo on February the 19th.
As Robinson drives, puts that up and in, lead down to 7 with 21.8 seconds left. Richard has 28 points here.
Yep.
Kira Goss there. Pick up her second personal foul. Just fouling Austin. And Austin go to the cherry stripe once again.
Yeah, I mean, there's only been 8 times this season that a Mid-American Conference player surpassed 30. Amy Velasco on that list.
First one up from Austin this time is good. Lead up to 8. And you did mention Amy Velasco there. We'll see if Bowling Green's season continues in postseason play if they accept a tournament. We'll find out tomorrow. or at least Monday at the latest. Second one is good as well, 63-54. Ball State up by 9. Timeout taken with just 21.8 seconds left. And the Cardinals are starting to sense it here.
Yeah, I mean, this game, it was just so even through the first, I'm going to say 25 minutes, Lucas. I'm going to say 25 minutes. But at that midway point of the third quarter, Ball State really took charge, and they have not looked back.
They have not. Richard has took over for Ball State. Becky underrated, 10 points, but 7 rebounds and 5 assists. This leads the Cardinals in assists as well. The Rockets just went ice cold shooting there, and the Cardinals got on this big run, and they never looked back since. Extend the lead to double figures, largest lead of any this game. And now with 21.8 seconds left, they have a 9-point lead, and are trying to seal out.
And interestingly enough, like we mentioned ahead of the game, I mean, the number 1 seed is 14-2 in the history of the MAC tournament when taking on the number 2 seed. That kind of just tells you how much of a gap there is between the top team and the MAC more years than not, and everyone else.
Here's McConowitz on the inbound, and they'll get Becky. That'll be her third. So they'll inbound this one here towards the left side underneath the basket. Long inbound here, McConowitz. Shot clock is off, 16 seconds. McConowitz drives, puts it up, and in. Timeout taken here from Ball State.
But what a career it's been for McConowitz now, of course, coming to a close after this season, at least collegiate career. And talking about Toledo a little more with their head coach, first-year coach, Ginny Bogus, Lucas, she's really impressed me, especially this tournament. I mean, just the fact that it's her first year and she's led them to the MAC championship game, and they put on like a really, really good season. I'm very intrigued to see how she grows over the next few years and see where she goes in her coaching career and the heights she reaches.
Just first year, 22-win season.
Yeah.
If you're just counting regular season, you're at 24 if you count the tournament wins as well. Had a 13-1 home record at Savage Arena. I mean, that's pretty good if you're asking me.
Yeah.
And Toledo will be disappointed, but this Ball State team was inevitable for the season. The regular season they were clear-cut the preseason favorites, and then they showed why throughout the duration of the regular season and the postseason play. Becky lays it up, lays it in. 65-56, 11 seconds left. Here's Carruthers. Carruthers drives, puts it up and in. 7 seconds left here. 65-58. See, Toledo elects to foul. They will not. Fire them up chirps for the first time in 16 years. The Ball State Cardinals have conquered the Mid-American Conference. They've done the double. Regular season and tournament champions, and will play in the NCAA tournament.
What a season.
What a season for Ball State. 65-58 is your final score. The Cardinals down the Rockets. Disappointment for Toledo, but jubilation and happiness for Ball State.
Yeah, just like you said, it was inevitable that Ball State was going to end up winning this one. Just what a great season it has been for them. I mean, that's an understatement. They deserve this. And I think what set them apart from really everyone else is just the experience. And, I mean, Coach Brady Sally finally did it. Finally got over the hump. Finally can say, I'm a champion.
Much deserved from Sally, Coach of the Year, and finally has not only his regular season title, he's got his MAC tournament ring, the one that everybody wants. The T-shirts, the hat, the confetti, the trophy, and now has a chance to play with house money going to the NCAA tournament next week. Congratulations to the Ball State Cardinals. When we come back, Caden Knapp and I will wrap up the game and give a big thank yous to everyone who's helped out with this tournament coverage so far. Ball State victorious over Toledo. They are the 2025 MAC champions. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the MAC championship game right here on Falcon Radio.
BG Authors is a campus organization dedicated to highlighting authors connected to the university. BGSU has produced some amazing authors, including Beth Macy, James Baldwin, and Tim Conway, to name a few. Visit bgauthors.com and subscribe to the blog that regularly updates on new releases, classics, non-BGSU authors, and other features such as book versus movie. That's BG Authors at bgauthors.com.
We depend on our drinking water supply daily, but where does that water come from? Your water provider encourages you to get to know your local water source so together we can protect and preserve it. The investments we make as a community to protect our water source now ensure we have a sustainable drinking water supply for the future. Visit drinktap.org to learn more. This message is brought to you by the American Water Works Association and your local water provider.
Hi, I'm Jaden Frigerio on the women's soccer team, and I'm doing my Falcon 4 favorite places in BG. First would have to be Meyer, second would have to be Juniper, third would have to be the beach, and number 4 would be the fires behind the business building. Thanks.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
Well, the experts were right. All chalk in the 2025 MAC Women's Basketball Tournament. The Ball State Cardinals take down the Toledo Rockets 65-58 is your final score here. Brady Sally has his first MAC tournament championship. The Cardinals are MAC champions for the first time in 16 years. The trophy is going back to Muncie, Indiana. And they'll play in the NCAA tournament next week. Lucas Clamar alongside Caden Knapp with you. Ready to wrap this one up and put a bow on it and send us on our merry way. We have one final game reminder, the men's MAC championship at 7:30 here on Falcon Radio. The Akron Zips take on the Miami Redhawks. Tyler Kavlitz and Artie Abrego will have the call. That will conclude Falcon Media Sports Network's coverage of the 2025 MAC men's and women's basketball tournament. Caden, I'll turn it over to you.
That was just a great game put on by Ball State. They did, by the way, end up winning the points off turnover battle by a margin of 4 at 16-12. But I think another thing to really watch was just that points in the paint category. Lucas, Ball State scoring 40 to Toledo's 30, and just they looked so good in that second half, did the Cardinals. 50% from the floor, 8 of 16 in each quarter. And then you look at Toledo, they were just smothered offensively in the second half. They couldn't really buy a shot for most of it, and just kudos to the Cardinals and head coach Brady Sally and his entire roster. I mean, they just played so well today, and they deserve this.
Alex Richard led the way with Ball State, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 1 shot of a double-double. She absolutely took over towards that time that you mentioned there, towards the end, middle of the third quarter, and then all through the fourth quarter where Ball State really went on that giant run that separated Toledo and made the difference in the game. She was unbelievable, 13 for 21 shooting as well. Becky had 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists as well. Had Austin Kiefer, 8 and 7 as well. Stuck had 7 points as well. For just a 7-person rotation for Ball State, but that's the way they like it.
Yep.
The way it's been all season long. Shot 44% from the floor. I was looking for the word. It's been a long day. Meanwhile, for the Rockets, 17 points for Caruthers, led the way in scoring. McConowitz had 12 points. Goss had 11 as well. McConowitz also had 7 rebounds. and 5 steals to go along with that. Cook at 8 points for a Toledo team that saw 11 different players see action on the floor, and a team that shot 42.9% from the field. And that second half shooting, Caden, just wasn't good enough for Toledo.
Yeah, it really was not. As I think they just announced the All-MAC team for the tournament. Richard and Becky are on it for Ball State, and then McConowitz and Goss each got on it for Toledo. Trella Watson also.
Yep, Richard and Becky both got it. And Allie Becky wins MAC tournament MVP here.
Hey, we voted for her.
Media does get a vote indeed, and Becky was unbelievable in regular season, unbelievable in the tournament, well deserved. Her and Richard too, just such great players.
Yep.
Been a blessing to watch some of these players, some of the best basketball players in the MAC here in the MAC tournament. Didn't have one upset the entire MAC tournament, all chalk, which is I don't know how many times that's happened before, but has to not be that much. I mean, tournaments are made for upsets. I mean, that's why people love March Madness, is because of the Cinderella runs and upsets that happen. But Ball State, man, well deserved.
Yeah, just like you said, a non-upset tournament, just very, very rare. And the fact that it's happened in both the men and the women's, of course, we'll see the outcome of the 1 versus 2. Kent State, of course, lost, so Miami versus Akron for the title at 7:30. But yeah, just very rare to see that.
Well, that's going to do it for at least the women's side of the coverage. You did mention there's the men's side of the game, Kaden. And just general thoughts on this tournament, your big takeaways. Like we mentioned, didn't see really any upsets. We see some incredible games. Bowling Green Buffalo, obviously, with Falcon Media Sports Network. That was on WBGU. That was a tough one. Buffalo got by Bowling Green for the second straight year, but then you had Toledo knock down Buffalo in the semifinal round. We had a lot of good games this tournament.
Yeah, and what stood out to me was just the quality defense really put on throughout the entirety of the tournament. And I think if you look at each game, the team that won is a team that played better defense and finished out the game well.
And you have each Cardinal player getting announced here as they head to the center court. MAC logo getting ready to pose with the championship trophy, championship ball, and get their championship rings, as they can call themselves champions for the first time in 16 years. And Ken, I actually do agree with you. The defensive play was unbelievable. I think just the overall quality offensively of the passing. The passing was unbelievable from the team. Like the open shots, the open looks, a lot of teams. I think the Buffalo and Toledo game were the game where I was a little bit scratching my head on some of the shot selection, but the passing shot selection was, I gotta say, some of the best I've seen this season long, and these were the top 8 teams in the conference. It was really unbelievable, and each team, you look down the list, had a star player, a star offensive player that shined one moment or another, and that was really cool to see as well. And that's the best part about covering this tournament, is seeing all those different teams, different players, and those teams we've seen all season long too.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be able to do these games and come over here to Cleveland, Ohio. I can say over east, about 2.5 hours from Bowling Green.
That is right. You know your directions for sure. Well, that'll do it for us here from this broadcast. We remind you, we do have one more broadcast as well. But before we do so, we also would like to plug Bowling Green Hockey taking on St. Thomas in the CCHA Mason Cup semifinal game. They will have a chance to play as the confetti comes down here at Rocket Arena, I should say, Rocket Mortgage's old name. Oh, that's so cool. I was hoping we'd come to our area so we can get covered with confetti. That would have been a lot of fun. But that will do it for us here. As I mentioned, BGSU Hockey taking on St. Thomas later today. That's at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. That's on WBGU 88.1 FM, our sister station. Ben Korak will be on the call for that one. Bowling Green has a chance to get to the CCHA championship game as well for the Falcons. We are obviously Falcon Radio and Falcon Media Sports Network, but it's been an absolute honor to cover all the games, not just Bowling Green men's and women's basketball games here at the tournament. I want to give also a big thank you to Nate Henners in the studio. Nate has one more board out as well tonight with the MAC championship game. But Nate has been unbelievable for us all tournament long, keeping us, pushing all the buttons and keeping us on the air. Nate, Kaden, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for all your hard work all tournament long and all year long for Falcon Media. That goes alongside with Jacob Carey, Ben Korak, as well Reese Patricus, Austin Roos, Jack Schill, and every other board operator. I probably am forgetting one as well, but every board operator that has helped board up these games in the MAC tournament. They are the glue that holds all this broadcast together, and it's not possible without them and all the things they've done in Falcon Radio and in WBGU all tournament long as well. Big thank you to you as well, Caden. First season you and I calling games as well. It's been such a blast all season long. We don't know if Bowling Green season does continue. That's important to know. They could accept a bid into a postseason tournament. If so, I'm sure you and I will be there on the road, wherever that may be, to continue the season. Maybe one last fun memory for those group of seniors like Alexi Fleming, Eric Capote, and Velasco to close out their campaigns with Bowling Green, unless Fleming elects to come back. So big thank you to everybody, along with Carl Smith, the Falcon Media Advisor, who made this trip possible, and everyone from BJSU Athletics that helped us out as well in all of our coverage of the tournament. We do have one more game left. As we said, MAC Men's Championship game, 7:30, right here on Falcon Radio. Akron taking on Miami. Tyler Cavalitz and Artie Abrego will be on the call with that one. So with that will do it for us here in Cleveland. Final score, Ball State are your 2025 MAC Women's Basketball Champions for the first time in 16 years. They are victorious over Toledo 65-58. Have a good rest of your afternoon, everyone.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.